Hi everybody, welcome back. Here we are starting off another week, this time on Monday, January 20th, and we're about to do it all over again. Surely you're going to see some similarities in our forecast and maybe one or two from weeks past. It's just really ramping up into another wintry mess and kind of a prelude to all the wintry happenings. It's been another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Does it sound familiar? A little bit of misleading by Mother Nature and the weather forecast hand in hand. Well, indeed, we've got some winter weather in store for you. The forecast has been kind of ramping up over the past few hours, and indeed now includes possibly 2 to 4 inches for us here in the viewing area. It's all going to start very early in the morning and wrap up by about this time tomorrow evening. And I'll be updating you on a forecast that looks as though may have more cancellations with it. We'll talk about some Arctic air that's also going to hang around, a big blast of it as far as we can tell, that's going to stick around for days and put temperatures back into the single digits on a couple of occasions. The latest update was not a friendly one. We'll get to that, though, in just a few moments. Before we get to what all we have to talk about on this Monday, just to give you a little bit of a heads up, the Salyersville City Council meeting, which was set for tonight, has been postponed, as I told you, Friday, in honor of it being Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so we'll have coverage, and that's next week. However, the Montgomery County Fiscal Court does meet tomorrow morning at 8:30 in regular session. I'll have a report for you tomorrow. Also a report this week on the latest happenings at the Montgomery County Board of Education. And don't forget the important meeting for a lot of folks, especially businesses, along the Mountain Parkway, what we refer to most commonly as Restaurant Road, that public road meeting at which the State Transportation Cabinet is going to lay out the plans for the widening project there that, as we reported to you last week, got a big boost from Governor Beshear, who is going to encourage lawmakers to put about $750 million into the complete project as a whole. So that's just what we've got on tap for the next several days, in addition to a whole lot of other news and information, including a community calendar that's got some new announcements, cancellations, and updates on basketball scores and the like, and we'll get to all of that in just a second. I've got, sadly, several funeral service announcements coming up later in our obituary listings, and one of those will be for a mother and young son who I told you last week was tragically killed in an auto accident on slick roads in or near Lima, Ohio. The Montgomery County and Salyersville native lost her life as a result of that two-car collision. Her baby was surgically removed at the hospital and survived a short time thereafter, but we have since learned passed away on Friday. I'll have service information for Miss Ashley Dyer and her son Connor Jace in just a few moments. But it all goes back to that two-vehicle accident that happened on Thursday, which, as of Friday, as I just said, claimed its second victim. Connor Jace DeMaca, the son of Ashley Dyer, a former Montgomery County and Salyersville resident, but most recently of Lima, Ohio. He passed away at 10:15 Friday night. He was ultimately transferred to the Toledo Children's Hospital. We know that after the collision of the two vehicles, she survived long enough to be taken to an area hospital in Lima, Ohio. After Connor was removed, she passed away sometime thereafter at around 7:53 Thursday night. Originally from here in Salyersville, Dyer was on her way to work in Lima at Daryl and Daryl's Pizza. She'd been working there for a couple of years. On her way to work, when the accident happened, she encountered slick roadways due to weather conditions that caused her car to go into a slide and come in contact with another vehicle. The crash happened around Thursday afternoon at 4:37 near the Allen County Fairgrounds. Her vehicle slid sideways into the path of an oncoming vehicle driven by a teenager who was not injured. A 13-year-old in that teenager's vehicle was taken to an area hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Her co-workers at Daryl and Daryl's credit her with the uncanny ability to always make someone laugh and always having a smile on her face, and that they were very well of the fact that she was at the happiest point in her life, meeting a man that she was going to spend the rest of her life with, moving into a home that her father and stepmother had just remodeled and fixed up for them, and she had actually just named the baby that week and had been to her baby's doctor the day before the tragic accident. And once again, for a complete listing of times and services in honor of Ashley and Connor, we'll have those in our funeral announcements in just a few moments. Well, we'll also be talking about a winter weather advisory that goes into effect at 4 in the a.m. and lasts till right around 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. And that's in lieu of a blast of Arctic air and a strong upper level disturbance that's going to move across the southeast over the area. And it's also going to give us a good chance of some snowfall, kids. We could be in for another snow day or two, because if we do see some snow, we're most definitely going to see some cold temperatures thereafter, down into the single digits, which means that, well, just like we saw very recently, it could stick around and cause problems for days on end. We'll get to that in local headlines after this.
Check out our daily specials that get even better after 4 o'clock and only at your Salyersville Lee's Famous Recipe. On Mondays, get our famous footlong with our homemade chili. It's just $2.49. And after 4 o'clock, it's only $1.99. A deal as great as the taste, and only at your Salyersville Lee's Famous Recipe.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I'm an attorney in Salyersville, Kentucky. I'm here to serve you and meet your legal needs. If your family or loved ones get in trouble, or if trouble comes to your door, then it's always good to have a friendly face that you can call on. So please, give me a call. I've been here my entire life. I was born here. I was raised here. I grew up here. I have a family here. I've been practicing law here in Salyersville since 1994. So when you have times of trouble and times of pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne. 349-9000.
Howdy, Hatfield. I reckon I'll take my pig back.
Ain't your pig.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is, and I can prove it. Ma, I just sent a picture of our missing pig. Tell everybody it's time to start feuding.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I guess ain't gonna be no feud. Real nice picture, though.
We'll put it on Instagram.
Appalachian Wireless is 4G. Great pictures, video, text, and talk. Bigger savings, better service. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
It's definitely the pie that sets it apart from everything you've ever known, tasted, or loved about a Reese's Cup or a DQ Blizzard. Real Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, creamy vanilla soft serve, and a real crunchy graham pie crust that gives it the texture and taste you'll never forget. But hurry, because it's the Blizzard of the month at your Salyersville Dairy Queen. Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400.
January is Employee Month at Hutch Chevrolet, as you will buy like a Hutch employee. You pay what we pay.
Hello, this is Earl Justice. Hutch Chevrolet is introducing a new way to buy a new car. It's the Hutch Easy Pay plan. It will cut your payments up to 40% every month, just like the new 2014 Chevy Equinox. Don't pay over $500 per month. Now with the new Hutch Easy Pay, only $325.08 a month. Get to Hutch Chevrolet GMC, Paintsville, Kentucky. Isn't it time for you to buy Hutch?
The window of opportunity for anyone who plans to file to run for most all of the respective offices, which will be on the May primary ballot, closes 1 week from tomorrow. I ran just a bit short on time this past Friday, but do have an update for you tonight. A couple of other individuals' names to add to the list, with a reminder that it is just 1 week away. We expect to see, that being the deadline, mind you, of which we expect to see maybe a flurry, or at least a small amount. Flurry, not necessarily a good word in lieu of the forecast, but maybe a few more names to add to the list between now and next Tuesday.
But for now, if you're a voter registered in McGoffin County, this is pretty much shaping as the ballot you're going to have for the May primary. We have a couple of races which have picked up respective candidates over the past week or so. Here's a look at your county judge's race as it stands today for McGoffin County. Republicans Gerald Howard, John Montgomery, and John D. Carty. And Democrats Charles Doc Harden and H.B. Arnott. The sheriff's race consists of 4 Republicans, Garlina Minix-Likens, Mike Nichols, Hetzel Minix, and Carson Montgomery, while there are 6 Democrats, Arthur Perkins, Joshua Shepard, Clayton D. Howard, Bob Jordan, Rick Jordan, and Tim Watkins. In the coroner's race, 3 candidates, Republican Paul Burchell, Democrats Michael Paul Howard, and Mark Jenkins. The county court clerk's race, 3 candidates, 1 Republican, Josie Wireman Bailey, and 2 Democrats, Johnny Kels Arnott and Renee Arnott Shepard. In the county attorney's race, 2 Democrats, Greg Allen, Jeff Lovely. Like several other races will be decided in the May primary, if there are no other takers, so to speak. In the jailers race for McGoffin County, 3 Republicans, Kenny Belcher, Greg Minix, and Ryan D. Arnott. Democrats Brian Montgomery and Tex Holbrook for McGoffin County Jailer. The Property Valuation Administrator is where we have a new name to add to the list. In addition to Democrat Jerry Sweeney, we now have a Republican, which is Brad Patrick. This race, of course, will, if there are no other candidates to file, we'll just merely carry on over to the November ballot. For Magistrate District 1, Republicans Brandon Minix and Bobby Bailey join Democrats Tony Chico Reisner, Frankie Howard, Ralph Doug Allen, and Gary Rooster Reisner. Magistrates race for District 2, Republican Johnny Bentley, Democrats Buckamaster and Garrett Ward. We have a new candidate for Magistrate District 3, joining Republicans Glenn Burks, Paula Peterson, Robert Lee Patrick, and Ronnie Lovely is a Democrat Jason Thomas Howard, who recently filed. Joining fellow Democrats Matthew Wireman, Billy Brown, Brandon Isaac, and Zachary Montgomery. Once again, that's Magistrate District 3. Also Democrats Larry Bubby Carpenter, Ebb Shepard, Everett Allen, and Kelly Lee Miller, rounding out what looks to be so far the largest field of all the McGoffin County ballots. Constables race District 1, James Puckett and James Rudd, Republicans, joining Dwayne E. Perkins, David L. Back, Hanson Rao, Cleve Cooge Howard, Tim Huber Howard. Constables race for District 2, 4 Democrats, Stevie Pelfrey, Stephen Lackey, Ronnie Edward Sloan, Fonzie Howard. Constables race District 3, Courtney Lee Reisner, Republican, Democrats Alvin Kraft and Joe Bailey. Unopposed, still unopposed, as per my last check, and that was as of close today at the State Board of Elections. John Short, our representative for the 92nd District, still the only so far to file for that seat, one that he, of course, currently holds. Brandon Smith, due to redistricting, which is now our senator for the 30th District here in McGoffin County and other parts of eastern Kentucky, also still unopposed in his race. And for Circuit Judge Kim Childers, which is a nonpartisan race, also is still unopposed. And also in the 36th District, for District Judge Dennis Prater, also a nonpartisan race, he too still unopposed in that race. And that's your latest update. Once again, a reminder, the 28th is the deadline to file. As for the races, the nonpartisan races such as City Council, Mayor, Soil and Water Conservation, School Board, well, those will not even be open until after the May primary is certified. And then that will add to what will make a very lengthy, as we have every few years, very lengthy November general election here in Salyersville, McGoffin County. Now, a new week means a new community calendar, sponsored by our old friends at McGoffin Farm Bureau. Couple of birthday wishes, though, to start it all off. Happy birthday, Red. Happy birthday, Ella Red Reisner, that is. Love JR, Andrew, Amber, Savannah, Brooke, Lexus, and a whole lot of friends and family with a whole lot of love. Happy birthday, Red.
Happy birthday to you.
And that handsome young fella is now 4 years and a couple of days old. Happy belated 4th birthday. This is Connor Isaiah Perkins, and Connor turned 4 on Saturday. And with a lot of love for Mommy and big brother Christopher, family and friends, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Connor Isaiah Perkins. And over top of what little bit of the sunset I can see from here at the newsroom on East Maple Street, which is not a whole lot, but certainly a reminder that if we didn't get a chance to enjoy it, well, you're not going to get one for a while as far as the beautiful weather is concerned that we saw today. I had 58 degrees early in the afternoon at the newsroom. Now, that sounds a little bit high, but it felt pretty nice, and it's the last of it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Your weather forecast and all this doom and gloom comes up in a few moments. A reminder, as I mentioned at the top of the program, the McGoffin County Fiscal Court meets in a regular session tomorrow. Second reading of a budget amendment, second reading of an alcohol ordinance, solid waste, and the county seat legacy project, all to be discussed. And this, of course, in addition to some other meetings that I mentioned that will be taking place this week that we'll be covering. The Harold Whitaker Middle School Site-Based Council has a special meeting set for tomorrow, 4 p.m. That's in the school's conference room. Now, whether or not the weather has something to say about that a little later on, well, I can't go that far and speak for them, but as of right now, that's their plan. And the Water into Wine Food Pantry over at the Lakefront Church of God at the old Middle Fork Elementary School. Well, they're distributing food boxes this Wednesday from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. They will break for lunch and to kind of regroup, I'm sure. It's going to be a busy day for them from noon till 1. But they are also giving out new pantry cards on this day. So there you know. Water into wine, food boxes Wednesday beginning at 8 in the morning. You still have time to make a donation and really change someone's life. Eyeglasses you may take for granted. We all may have some in a purse, in a drawer, in a car somewhere that you don't need them or just have no use for them. Drop them off at the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. Our friend Leola Cole is going to collect them and see that they make their way around the world to some other folks who could certainly use them. And the clock is ticking down as far as the deadline is concerned to get your strawberry and grafting rootstock orders in at your local McGoffin County Extension office. This might be your last reminder here on the program, so call them today at 349-3216. Well, actually, tomorrow, as I'm sure there's no one there at this hour, or drop by to get your order in. And always call me anytime you've got an announcement. And I do mean anytime. Not always here, but I've always got a voicemail or an email or a fax or something that will take your message and announcement for free. And that includes birthdays and anniversaries and those special announcements that we so love to let everyone know about. Funeral service announcements provided on behalf of the McGoffin County Funeral Home and McGoffinCountyFuneralHome.com. Services are going to be held here in Salyersville on Wednesday of this week for Ashley Marie Dyer, 20 years of age, and her infant son, Connor Jace Dyer DeMaca. Ashley is survived by her mother, Christine Adams Dyer, and her father, Wendell Dyer, and her fiancé, Dustin DeMaca. Visitation for Ashley as well as her infant son, baby Connor, is this evening. It continues all day tomorrow and until services begin Wednesday morning at 11. Visitation and services are all from the Salyersville Funeral Home Chapel. Burial is going to follow thereafter at the Dyer Cemetery on Lakeville Road. And we've received word of the passing tonight of 86-year-old Paul Edward Arnott of Royalton, who passed away on yesterday's date. The McGoffin County Funeral Home, who's in charge of arrangements, says they are still incomplete at this hour, but to be announced soon. Once again, 86-year-old Paul Arnott of Royalton passed away yesterday, with arrangements still being made in his honor. From time and money saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Salyersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Salyersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time. The 2014 Terexes are in with a newly redesigned 800cc power plant and a new 2-seat configuration. And the XP1000 is on the ground. 107 horsepower and a world-class suspension, plus Polaris financing as low as 2.99%, 5.99 for up to 72 months. But it's only good till the end of the year at Connolly's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Love is in the air at the seasonal shop with something sweet for all your hearts. With cute $5 or $10 custom Valentines perfect for the kids at school and other adorable cuddly candy bouquets just perfect for everyone. And they've got the finest in Whitman's chocolates and more ways to say I love you than you can imagine throughout the store. Fashionable and fan favorite handbags and jewelry for her. Absolutely anything and everything UK for him, and even Big Blue for the cutest of Valentines. And just in, sassafras burlap designs in monogram doormats and garden flags to say welcome. All this and so much more only at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Salyersville.
This is John at Premier Motor Sales in Paintsville.
I know everyone out there is not want to spend $400 or $500 a month on a payment on a used car. If you come to Paintsville, that probably ain't going to happen. Because at Premier Motor Sales, we sell quality used cars at a fair price. Here's an example, a 2005 Toyota RAV4. We had it listed for $98.50, just marked it down to $88.50. It's going to be a great payment vehicle. So if you're looking for a good buy on a used car or truck or SUV, come see us. Call us at 297-4121.
Start off the new year with some brand new duds. Regardless of how hard you have to work or how hard you want to play, if you're stepping out or if it's what you're stepping in, Red's Boot Barn has got you covered with work, play, and western boots by Muck, Ariat, Red Wing, Blackjack, and more, and winter and western wear by Wrangler, Ariat, Miss Me, Outback, and Carhartt, just to name a few. Happy 2014 from everyone at Red's Boot Barn in Salyersville.
Well, everything from this point further as we wrap up tonight's program can be tied to the weather directly with the forecast. It's getting more wintry by the moment. And also high school basketball scores, a couple of games canceled, postponed due to the weather last week, some teams did manage to get in, and games which look to be possibly on the chopping block for tomorrow and maybe even later on in the week.
All right, I'm trying to put off your forecast as long as possible. I'm talking slower, but it's not making it any better. We'll get to that in just a second. Now, there were some cancellations due to the weather last week. McGoffin County Hornets, the boys team, well, they had been scheduled to take on Powell County Friday. That game was canceled, so they got the weekend off. They've actually had a week off. They played almost a week. They played South Floyd last Tuesday, and that was a heartbreaker. That was a loss by 162-63. The boys right now sitting at 9-7, and right now, well, they're scheduled to be home tomorrow night hosting Sheldon Clark. Tip-off set for JV at 7:30. I've got that. Now, you can call that an asterisk down there or a snowflake down at the bottom of your screen by a host. Any way you want to look at it, but it's a tentative schedule at this point for tomorrow evening in lieu of the incoming weather. We'll get to that in just a second. The Lady Hornets also had a cancellation. They were due to take on Breathitt County this past Friday. That game, too, canceled. They are, though, going to be on the road tonight. Weather's not going to be a factor there as they're traveling to Valley. They take on Shelby Valley. Tip-off for JV set for 7:30 tonight. Now, this is after a win over Sheldon Clark, 51-43, that I showed you a few highlights from last week. And the McGoffin County ladies still at 12-4 and still atop 15th region basketball as we're now on the downhill side. We're past the halfway mark for the season. No one else had any cancellations. As for the Tigers and boys basketball, their last game was on, well, Thursday of last week. They are on the road tonight. Now that is at Lawrence County for the boys. As for the Lady Tigers, they are going to be at, as I make sure I get this right, they're going to be at Russell this Thursday. This is after a loss to Johnson Central, 45-61 on Friday night. And they're at 10-6 on the season. Speaking of Johnson Central and the Golden Eagles, the boys are at 10-5 right now. They took on Lawrence County over the course of the weekend, Saturday night, and they took home. Well, they didn't have to take home a win; they were at home, but they kept the win there. It's 69-65 by 4-point margin, and that puts the boys at 10-5 on the season. And that also puts them supposedly on the road tomorrow night at Pikeville. And once again, we'll wait and see how that pans out for them. As for the Lady Golden Eagles, well, they had a big weekend. Friday night, they took on Paintsville, 61-45, as I just kind of covered. And then Saturday night, they hosted Fleming County, 70-55 was your final score. That puts the Lady Golden Eagles at 10-8 going into hosting Sheldon Clark this evening for a home game for Johnson Central and the girls. And for Morgan County and the Cougars, the boys Friday night took on East Carter, a win at home, 51-48. And then it was Fairview on Saturday night away, but a win, 61-33. And they're now up to 10.5, 10 wins, 5 losses on the season. They're also in the 16th Region All-A Classic tonight, taking on Elliott County. We'll see how that tournament makes it on throughout the week with the weather coming in as well. So there you have it for Matthew Perry and the boys. And as for the Lady Cougars, rounding out your area team coverage, well, they had a win over Fairview, 50-39. That was on the 18th. That was Saturday over the course of the weekend. They are at West Carter tonight. That's too in the 16th Region All-A Classic. They, too, girls and the boys, both taking on Elliott County tonight in 16th Region All-A action. All right. Myself and Licking Valley RACC would like to remind you now is not the time to shoot the messenger. As we take a look at your forecast that they are powering each and every weeknight here on Your News Today. And let's just see what a difference the last hour has made. I've got the most recent update just coming down here. Looking at computer models, it's actually, well, improved in the short term. Right now, not that it makes a great big difference, we're talking about a low of 29 instead of 27. So just in the past few moments, tonight's forecast, it looks as though I picked up a couple of degrees. We'll take that, obviously, and we would certainly love to have that trend throughout, but that's not going to happen. So, when's the snow going to fall, kids? Everyone wondering about a really long weekend. It's already been 4 days for everyone in McGoffin County and some other schools. Well, 40% chance mainly after 3 a.m. still looks to be our window. We're still going to see increasing clouds later on, and then that's going to take us into a Tuesday where we've got snow, the heaviest of which will be before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, temperatures, that 29-degree low tonight, that's as far as we're going. They're going to continue to fall and fall to about 18 degrees by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. New snow accumulation, I'm still holding out 2 to 4 inches for the viewing area. Keep in mind, that's by, well, this time or a little earlier if you're watching the early show tomorrow evening. So school maybe in the morning, just depending on if this thing gets in here a little slower, which it doesn't necessarily look like it's going to do. It's just going to be dicey in the morning. Certainly the later morning hours, as that's when we really start to get in maybe on some heavy white stuff. So we've got 1 to 3 inches down at the bottom of your screen. Right now we're going to up that to 2 to 4. And we're also looking at winds tomorrow, gusting upwards of 22, 23 miles per hour at times. So wind chill factors are going to be very reminiscent of what we just had to make it through us several days ago. We're back to Arctic air. You should be used to it. You should be well prepared and have all your pipes and pits and everything in order, because here we go again. Wednesday, we'll see 22 for the high, 16 for the low, but now wind chill values with a still pesky wind hanging around could be as low as 1 degree on your Wednesday. Things start to clear up. We'll see mostly sunny skies, I believe, and an improvement from the partly sunny that I had an hour ago in the forecast. Nevertheless, it's still going to be cold. 16 degrees for the nighttime low, and look for that to be optimistic. I think the low teens, by the time the cold gets in here and settles in, is going to be much more of a possibility. Your forecast tomorrow will tell the tale. Thursday, we're talking about 22, 23 degrees and 5 for the nighttime low. Another shot of some snow, about 20% chance of snow showers up to around 3 in the afternoon. Thursday, Friday, sunny and a high of 27. Might again be a little optimistic. Look for the Arctic air to hang on and pull temperatures down into your Friday. I'd say 25 is going to be a good bet. A low of 18. That too may be a bit optimistic, but it's still going to be cold. And also another shot of snow late Friday night into your Saturday. Temperatures over the course of the weekend right around 36 degrees for your Saturday, with another shot of some precipitation, because it could go either way. A little rain, a little snow mixed on your Saturday. And Sunday, look at it, 34 degrees. Another chance of some precipitation with rain or snow, depending on where we are on the bubble there as far as the temperature is concerned, which should put us right in the mix, so to speak. Now, I have no way of sugarcoating it or putting a spin on it other than to say, well, we should all be prepared for it, because we just went through it just a few days ago. With that said, that's my time as always, and sincere thank you for being a part of it. We'll see you back here with fiscal court coverage and other news you'll only see with me starting tomorrow with more of Your News Today. Good night.